Well, Hillary Clinton lashing out at President Trump this morning during an unhinged tweet storm. The former presidential hopeful saying, quote, "Donald Trump refuses to be subject to the law. The legitimacy of our elections is in doubt," she says. "The president is waging war," she says, "on the truth. The administration undermining the national unity that makes democracy possible." And then there's the breathtaking corruption. Apparently, she doesn't like openness and transparency in government. She never had to get used to it when she was in office. Well, joining us tonight, Congressman Louie Gohmert. He serves on the Judiciary Committee. He's a member of the House Freedom Caucus. It's great to have you with us. It is also great to be able to ask you about the FISA court documents and all of the text and other documents that the president has ordered released to the public unclassified. Your reaction?
I think it's fantastic what the president's doing. It is for transparency. And by the way, Lou, having reviewed some of the things with regard to Hillary Clinton's case, and boy, is she one to talk about obstructing justice and being above the law. I mean, she violated every kind of law and is still out there taking pot shots. But the trouble that I see right now is whoever prepared the declassification order did not put a date by which it had to be declassified and made public. And therefore, he still has enough deep staters in the Justice Department. Of course, Jeff Sessions recused himself, so you got Rosenstein. Well, every time we have seen something be unredacted, it wasn't about sources and methods. We want to protect those, but every time it has been self-serving to protect the people who have been violating federal regulations, violating protocol of the Justice Department, or violating the law. And so it's kind of calling wolf one too many times to be saying, gee, this is terrible. No, it's transparency, and the American people need to see just how bad the DOJ was weaponized and was utilized. And, you know, you hear people like Brennan and others, my word, the damage that man has done. And then Comey, for heaven's sakes, McCabe, Strzok, all these people, they need to have their day in court where they're on the other side of the courtroom than where they're used to. It's outrageous what they've done. So I look forward to these things being declassified. The president did the right thing, and I'm looking forward to people finding out what it says, and that stuff they wanted redacted actually was self-serving to people like Rosenstein, Strzok, McCabe, Page, all those kind of people.
The people who want to hide all of their nefarious activities as part of the most corrupt. It is not
outrageous.
Most corrupt.
John Mitchell could never have
dreamed. This Justice Department is a whole other place. It is an absolute cesspool of the most toxic political corruption imaginable. And to hear Brennan, by the way, let's be very clear.
Oh, God.
And this intelligence community that was led under President Obama is equally as corrupt and equally as nefarious as anything that was being pulled or attempted by the Justice Department. It's disgusting. These FISA documents...
we know Brennan and some of the others had, you know, let's see, was it Brennan voted for communists? I did not know until last week I saw an article from 2003 where Comey was bragging that, I was a communist until I became whatever I am now. I never heard that. Comey the communist. How about it? Who knew that? It was amazing.
Well, you always bring fresh insight to every one of these issues, Congressman.
Comey the communist. Who knew?
Turning to these texts, we've heard from Devin Nunes. We have heard from others, including Chris Farrell of the Judicial Watch, that there is no reason why there should be any delay on the documents, the 20 pages from the FISA court application for surveillance. There should be no, in their judgment, reason for delay on producing these unredacted texts. But the truth is, we've seen over the past year and a half nothing but stonewalling by the Justice Department, the FBI. The intelligence community is on a whole nother level. What do you expect to happen? How soon do you expect the president to have these documents produced by the agencies and the Department of Justice?
It's hard to say. There was a reason for delay a year and a half ago because it takes a little time. But since then, the reason for delay has been to protect the guilty. You know, the names are being redacted, the things are being redacted to protect the guilty. So that's the reason they're being redacted. That's the reason they're being slow to uncover these things. And don't forget ever for a moment who's in charge at Justice over all of this. It's Rosenstein, the guy that was part of the original Russia investigation that helped Mueller and Weisman keep it tamped down so that Clinton could approve the deal with CFIUS and they could get $145 million into the Clinton Foundation. So Rosenstein, that same guy, he has a strong motive for keeping this suppressed at least past the election, as he hopes and prays the Democrats get at least one of the House majorities so they can protect him from prosecution.
Well, Congressman, perhaps we can be somewhat more hopeful about the outcome of these midterm elections that the president needs for the party to win, because releasing these documents should awaken a lot of people who have been sleeping through the past 2 years. Congressman, great to have you with us.
Which is why they'll drag their feet. Thank you. Always good to be with you, Lou.
Good to see you, Congressman. Up next.